What's up, guys? Sports Estimators back with another soccer video. This week's video will be going over our Liga MX Jornada 16 picks, as well as tapping a little bit more into pop culture, going over the Nike T90 and Palace collab, and wrapping it up with our Mexico all-time 11 roster. I'll be giving mine, Chino will be giving his, and then you guys will let us know, hopefully, who has the better team.
Yeah, real quick before we start off, the Mexico all-time 11 was actually given to us as an idea from one of our watchers, one of the good hammies. Shout out to Alan. He's part of the Discord group that I'm in, and that's how I met him. But yeah, thank you for the recommendation, and we appreciate that. And if you guys want to recommend more video ideas, please feel free to either DM us or drop a comment in one of our videos, TikToks, anywhere. We'll see it, and we'll definitely bring it into consideration. So
yeah, for sure. That was a great recommendation. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I'm excited to share my team and hear Chino's team.
Yes, sir.
But let's go ahead and get started with Liga MX. Second to last week for the season. That went by fast, huh?
That did go by fast.
So let's go ahead and get started, as always, with Friday's games. First one up, Necaxa taking on Santos.
Santos is impressing. They're fighting for repechaje now. They're in 10th place. Necaxa is bottom, second to last. I got a tie for this one.
Okay. I'm not mad at it. I think this is going to be a competitive game. I went ahead and picked Necaxa. They're coming off a big win against Atlético San Luis last week. And at home, Necaxa has not lost to Santos in their last 3 matchups. Okay. So I'm going with Necaxa, but like I said, it should be a fun one. I think it's going to be another high-scoring game, too.
Dude, these Friday games, though, games that nobody watches, 4-4, freaking an upset last week with America, chalking it 2-2.
Yeah.
It was these Friday games are incredible, man.
They're both botanero for a reason. Just kick back and just enjoy.
Yeah.
All right, next game. Should be another high-scoring one, actually. Atlético San Luis versus Juárez.
4-4, 4-3.
Yeah. Who do you got in this one?
I got my team, Juárez, that I'm backing all the way to the end, unless they're playing my team, Cruz Azul. But I got Juárez too. Who you got?
I got a tie in this one.
Okay.
I think, like I said, it should be high-scoring. I think Juárez is going to be desperate for a win.
Mm-hmm.
But they are a different team when they play away from home. They've only won 1 away game all season. So I'm going with a tie for this one.
Okay.
Next game up, the easiest one of the week, Puebla versus Cruz Azul. Got Puebla in this one. I'm just kidding. Hell no. I'm taking Cruz Azul in this one.
Puebla, though, man, they've been playing incredible. One thing I do want to know, with this being the last 2 games of the season, the last 2 games will determine which top 5 team in the table gets home field advantage. What's also important is, being that top seed in liguilla is a determining factor, because if you place in a higher seed, if you end up tying both teams or both games, the higher seed ends up advancing. So this is critical for the top 5 place teams, because nobody under the bottom 5 I think is going to be able to scratch that or be in contention. But that being said, Toluca, Tigres, Cruz Azul, America, and Monterrey all have to give it their all. More so for my team, Cruz Azul, we're coming off of a huge win against Monterrey. But like you guys know, you guys should probably know that I wasn't content. The reason why I wasn't content with that win was because Oliver Torres ends up trying to chop my boy Paradela's leg off, try to give him an Achilles injury. So we didn't get to see, a full 90 with Monterrey's full squad. So that kind of, didn't let me see what Cruz Azul's potential could potentially be. But one thing I do want to know, Charlie is the best Mexican midfielder playing in Liga MX at the moment. The system and style of play of Cruz Azul is totally complementary to his attributes, as well as having him in comfortable situations to him to give through balls with the outside part of his foot. and also lobbing it over defenders, which he's been incredible at this season. And I know people hate on him for what he's done with the selección.
Or for what he hasn't done.
Exactly. Because when you put him into play, he shows nothing. Nada más estorba in that midfield. But when you turn on the TV and you see him playing for Cruz Azul, it's damn near like if you're watching Iniesta play. That's going to get some people mad. But yeah, I think Cruz Azul is going to win, and we need to win because I want us to get that home field advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, like you brought up a good point with the top 5 teams. It's very much like that group is fighting, like you said, for seeding.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's about like from like 6 to I want to say like maybe 13 that are like trying to get into that like play-in. So it is kind of like 2 different tables in that state. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely going to be interesting to see the different teams fighting for different positions.
Yeah, because this is gonna shuffle around so much from Friday to Saturday to even Sunday. It's gonna shuffle around a lot, and it's gonna be exciting to see prime Liga MX though. Yeah,
real quick. So the difference between 1 to 5 is only 3 points.
3 points,
but the difference between 5 and 6 is 7 points.
Jesus.
So that just highlights that the top 5 teams. Again, just to reiterate, Toluca, Tigres, Cruz Azul, América, and Monterrey are the clear
favorites,
contenders to win a title. And I think outside of those 5 teams, if anybody were to win, we'd both be very surprised.
Yeah.
And then you got Chivas in 6th with 23, Pachuca 7th with 22, Tijuana 8th with 21, Juarez 9th with 20, and then you have Santos in 10 with 17. So there is a 3-point difference there, but still a lot to play for between those teams. And even a team like Atlético de San Luis with 16 points, you know, if these next 2 games go their way, same thing with Atlas, who also has 16, they might end up squeezing in there. You never know. So it should be a fun wrap up to the season.
Yeah, this Jornada 16 and 17 is going to be very exciting to see. But yeah, so you had Cruz Azul win?
Yeah, and then before the liguilla actually starts, we could do like a bracket. That would be fun.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna do a bracket, and that'll be very fun to do. So stay tuned.
All right, let's move on to Saturday's games. Atlas taking on Toluca. Toluca will be without Alexis Vega. Is that enough for Atlas to beat them or tie?
No, because I still have Toluca to win, and I say that because Atlas has only won 2 of their last 11 matchups versus Toluca. Like you said, Vega will be out 3 to 4 weeks. One thing to note, though, and this is going to be something to consider, you know, going into Liguilla, Toluca's starting 11 is the strongest 11 in the league. But if you go to their bench, it's kind of like, who is...
lackluster?
Who is that? Yeah. They have a lot of canteranos in there, but it's not what like a team like Cruz Azul has on their bench. It's not like what America has on their bench. So with this injury and Alexis Vega being out 3 to 4 weeks, he's not going to be in rhythm for Liguilla. So things aren't really looking too good.
This injury might have chalked their season.
I wouldn't say chalked because, like I said, that starting 11 is very impressive.
Well, at least jeopardize it.
Yeah. Because they could potentially end up dropping points and tying this game.
Yeah, but I'm just saying because in 3 to 4 weeks, the Liguilla will be starting. So he might miss that first matchup.
Yeah, and he's not going to be in rhythm, and that's something that you had to have going into Liguilla.
Plus, he's a huge part of their team. I mean, he was the best player of the season last season. And he's kind of like that guy that in that final third kind of takes over because you know he can give assists, but he can also score. Because of Marcel Ruiz, that's still going to be a team that doesn't struggle to transition the ball, you know, from the back. But and they still have Paulinho, who's the leading goal scorer. So I like Toluca in this game too, but if I were a Toluca fan, I'd be very, very concerned about this.
Yeah, for sure.
But moving on to, well, actually, let's talk about the America game first, and then we'll do that one because that's probably the game of the week.
Yeah, it is.
So America versus Leon. Who do you got?
I have America just because Leon, what the hell happened to them, bro? Like, I did not expect that from them this season. I thought they were going to be top 8 at least with James Rodriguez leading that team. Is Andres Guardado still even playing?
No.
Okay, well, that's how you know.
But they have Cortizo too.
They do. They have, oh my God, I forgot about him. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I have America winning. The last 12 matchups, Leon has only won twice. And San Luis, James is set to leave the squad. And he is rumored to go to America.
For real?
That could be smoke and mirrors.
I actually haven't seen that. That wouldn't be... Nah, I think he kind of plays a little bit too much like Zendejas a little bit.
Yeah.
Because, well, the thing is, James, they usually play... Unless they play Zendejas on the right and then they put James as the 10.
Yeah, which I would like to see.
Because sometimes they put James on the right. And then, but he always obviously drifts in and just kind of play makes there. But I think America, what they need is a 9.
Yeah, and we've talked about that.
They don't necessarily need like that creative, because they don't really have like a 10-10, which James is. But I think they would need a 9 more so.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, I wouldn't be mad at that. To be honest.
And also before we move, you go on. Liga MX Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, these next couple of months, bro, is going to be off the charts.
Toxic?
It's going to be super toxic, super hilarious. If you guys aren't tapped in, you guys got to tap in. You know how, like, they say, you know, there used to be a black Twitter? We have Liga MX, like, Liga MX Twitter. Like, you know how, like, black Twitter back in the day when Twitter was super popping? How, like, they had that shit jumping?
2013?
Yeah, those were the days. But Liga MX Twitter, bro, is a special place. That shit is hilarious every weekend. You guys had to tap in, and that's where that was my source for this trick, for this move of James going to America.
Really?
But let's see, go on with your super lackluster America as of late.
I mean, obviously, I'm not thrilled they tied Mazatlan, but you know, as an America fan, we don't really worry about regular season because, I mean, one of the campeonatos that they won, they literally finished 8th.
Yeah.
So America's a team that, if they're healthy come playoff time, they're a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
So it's just getting there. Plus, they have, you know, they're up there still contending. They can still finish Super Líder. I don't think it'll happen, but it just goes to show they've been having a good season so far.
You guys
only lost to Cruz Azul and Chivas this season. So, but yeah,
who you guys could potentially end up playing?
Who?
Cruz Azul and Chivas and Liguilla.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't worry too much about with Chivas. Cruz Azul, I'd be like, yeah, that's probably wouldn't be favored. I think.
How do you feel with your midfield being so injured?
That's definitely a concern, but I think as long as we have Fidalgo healthy, and as long as we have, I think now Chiquito, but somebody like Chiquito or even Jonathan, even though he hasn't had like a whole lot of minutes this tournament, he just always steps up, bro. Whenever we put him in, he just does what he has to do. He knows the role he has for that team. But I want to talk about Brian Rodriguez. He might have scored the goal of the season, bro. Did you see that?
I did see that.
That was crazy, bro. So
you gave him the opposite of a curse. You gave him a blessing.
So maybe we're not a curse. Maybe we're just very, like, I guess, polarizing in that if we talk about you, it's either going to go really well or really bad. Nothing like in between.
Yeah, it's never in between, bro. It's either really bad,
But yeah, possibly the goal of the season. What a banger. I didn't even know he had free kicks like that, bro.
Bro, neither did I. But then I guess I had asked, like, what the fuck? Like, when the hell has he ever scored a free kick? But I guess he scored one against Salt Lake in the Leagues Cup. like
With
2 years
America?
ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I actually don't remember that one.
Yeah, I know. I didn't remember it either until like they popped up the video, and I was like, Jesus Christ, it looked like similar.
Which now that I think about it, America usually doesn't have like get a lot of like opportunities to kick direct free kicks, and they say we get refereeing help.
It's because instead you
We
guys get
penalties?
PKs.
I set
You guys
myself
get
up with that
PKs.
one.
You did.
All right, let's move on.
Hey, instead of PKs, it's gonna be free. Instead of PKs, it's gonna be free kicks now.
I mean, we got Brian, so I'm chilling. All right, let's move on to what we think is going to be the game of the week.
Yes, sir.
El Clásico Regio, Monterrey versus Tigres. Monterrey favored, but they're at plus 130. Who do you like in this game?
Two things. I got Tigres, and another thing. That Monterrey midfield and all those Spaniard players that play for Monterrey, God blessed me with not having enough talent to be a soccer player and not be signed for Cruz Azul, because the way they were trying to disrespect Cruz Azul in the midfield, bro, I would have been so disrespectful to all of them. I would have been like, bro, you guys came here to Mexico to try and be a big player because you guys couldn't do it in your own country.
Damn.
Bro, like, I would have been like, por eso estás aquí, porque te damos de comer, hijo de puta. Bro, I would have been talking so much trash. And then, oh my God, what's that? Wow, let me go back. Canales, bro. He gave a heel pass, and these fucking narrators.
Glazing?
Que jugador. Bro, a basic ass heel pass, and they glazed the hell out of him. Que jugador. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here. That shit pissed me off so bad. But anyways, moving on. This Monterrey team is just all hype. All hype, bro. I saw it. All hype. Martial, is he still playing, bro? Like, did Martial sign?
They were on his head.
Bro.
They were on the narrators were on his head.
I'm so done with this team. Monterrey is not going to be champions this season.
Yeah, nah, I don't see it. I think we were kind of anticipating that a bit with like given the amount of talent that they have. But real quick, I'm picking Tigres in this game too because Tigres actually plays as a team.
Yep.
And they have an identity, whereas Monterrey is still, despite all the talent, they're still trying to figure it out.
They want these fucking Spaniards to just carry the team. They think they could just come here and do whatever they want. Hell nah. Hell nah. Not in my country. Make Mexico great again. Get these freaking Spaniards and Argentines out of our country. That shit pissed me off, bro. Yeah, this is
the
why
ones that don't make a difference.
Yeah, this is why God did not give me the talent to be in there, because I would have been so disrespectful, bro.
I wanted to pick Monterrey because they're at home, but
even at home, these fools suck.
It's just like I just couldn't because I just think Monterrey is just the better team right now and they're more in form.
Monterrey or Tigres?
Tigres, sorry.
And let me give you a few stats. Tigres are ranked second away from home. They have 4 wins and 3 ties and no L's away from home. So, and Tigres.
Wait, Tigres or Monterrey?
Tigres.
Okay.
Away from home, Tigres are ranked second, and Tigres haven't lost in their last 11 games.
Yeah, so, they've been on a tear.
Yeah, and like how you said, Tigres plays well. They play as a team. Their players actually feed off of each other. They have a style of play rather than give the ball to an individual player and let their individual talent take us to where we need to be. They have
and they still they play as a team, but they also have as much talent as any other team too,
bro. And I tip my hat off to Pizarro. Like him being a player and coaching this team as well as he has with that much talent, bro. Jesus Christ, almost inspires me to become a head coach as well. Almost
wants you to get you want Cruz Azul to sign him?
Nah, hell nah.
You like Larcamón? You're still not over on Selme, I think. I see it in your eyes. Like. It's almost it's almost as if he cheated on you and you're still mad, but you're you would low-key take him back still.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. You're right. I would. That's
what I see in your eyes. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Nah, it is true.
If he apologized and was like, please.
I'd take him back?
Yeah.
All right. It's just, that storyline, and Anselmi, bro, was just so like, this is how manipulative he was. Like, he made you feel like connection with him. He made you feel like if he was like just another, like, well, he was just another person that ended up coaching, and he had an incredible story. But like, he, like, that was just like his manipulativeness that could, you know,
or his like aura, like, he had like laid back, chill guy aura.
Yeah. Like, he shouldn't have been in the position he was in, and to get that team as far as he got them to in that short amount of time, because from the season prior to when we got him, we were like 17th or 16th, and then
I think it was it or was it even 18th?
I think it was 18th.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And to do what he did
in one season too. That was crazy. I remember that.
And I remember leading up to that season, I was just like, I was hyped because there was like Alexis Vega rumors, Carlos Vela rumors. Remember how hyped I was like during that time when we were just signing all these
Honestly,
players?
you were hyped every offseason, so it's hard for me to remember that one particularly.
That is true. But for that one, yeah, it was just, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I don't want to jinx nothing. I'm just...
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring up your ex.
Not...
It just that's the vibe that I get.
Nah, it's definitely still there. It's definitely is.
You still have feelings for him?
I still have feelings for him.
Hey, but honestly, like, Amon has done a good job. Like, but kind of going back to Anselmi, Anselmi kind of gave the blueprint, and every coach since then has just been kind of like tweaking it a little bit, but it's still kind of that same foundation, you know?
And like how I've touched on before, it's just kind of the way the office or the front office has kind of wanted to mold this team to be, where any coach, any player could just come in, but they just developed a system for, you know, a certain style of play to be played and a certain style of play to be coached. And I think that's why we've seen as much success with Cruz Azul that we've seen. So
definitely. But let's move on to Sunday's games. Pumas versus Tijuana. Pumas is actually favored in this game. Do you like Pumas to win? Tie?
Pumas is home?
Yeah.
I got a tie.
Tie?
Yeah.
I'm going with Pumas. I just think they're so desperate for a win. Both teams are struggling because Tijuana hasn't won in their last three games. And I just see like Pumas getting like an ugly win. You know what I mean?
1-0.
Like a Liga MX win. You know what I mean? Like something like that. That's how I just have a gut feeling on that.
Yeah.
And next game, Querétaro versus Mazatlán. Battle of
ass. Battle of ass. Oh my God, I didn't do a battle of ass for the NFL one.
Oh, you didn't?
But it's all right. This is a battle of ass, and I got the asses team to win. Querétaro.
The asses?
The BBL. I got the BBL to win.
You got Querétaro winning?
Yeah.
I do too.
Jesus Christ, why are we so insane?
I know, huh? One thing about Querétaro is they beat mediocre teams at home.
They do. They do.
And Mazatlán has not won an away game. That's one thing I haven't talked to. I caught myself. Somebody called me out, and you guys correct me, but I never noticed that I say Juan.
Juan. He just says Juan.
Like Juan.
Juan Rodriguez.
Yeah. But to me, how do you say it?
One.
That sounds like the number, though. So they won the game? They won the game.
Yeah.
They won the game 1-1.
It's just the way English was developed.
I guess
the English language, that's why it's the hardest language to learn.
Let me know if there's any other Juans out there.
Hey,
I've never noticed that.
Hey, you were a ESL kid? Yeah.
Nah, that's crazy. That's crazy. ESL? ESL is crazy. I was actually... Hey, funny you mentioned that. I was cleaning out my house today, and I was going through like all these random old papers, and I randomly saw my 8th grade fucking star report thing.
Yeah.
And English was actually my best. I was advanced in English, so fuck you.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna still say Juan because I don't like how they won the game. That sounds weird to me. So I think I'm gonna keep saying Juan.
Oh my God.
So.
Oh my God.
Hey, let me try one. See if it sticks. If it sticks, I'll stick with it.
ESL class was a vibe, though.
You were in ESL?
You were in there with all the chuns, bro.
I'm dead. I wouldn't know.
You were in there with all the kids that just came from Mexico. and like you could just tell. And but bro, those fools wanted it for soccer though.
They would bring their own ball.
Yeah, they would deadass bring their own ball. They would come in their kit at like lunchtime. You would just see them.
They would always like grab you inappropriately. Would that ever happen?
Nah,
Oh.
I actually
Yeah, me either.
Whoa, wait, what the hell?
Like eran bien like llevado.
What the fuck was that?
Like they wouldn't be like smacking your ass like when you're like way too young. Like
No.
you know, like locker room shit.
Nah.
But like they were doing it like way
Hey,
before.
that didn't happen till I started hanging out with you and the homies.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, the homie would pick dingleberries out of my,
Hey, that you did worse to them though when you were sleeping when he was sleeping in the bus.
Oh my god, you remember?
Oh shit.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's what the homie got a print on and everything.
All right, let's move on to the last game. Pachuca taking on Chivas. Who you got?
I got Chivas, bro. But
Really?
I got Chivas. Prayers up though for Campillo. He was one of the best center defensive, not center defense. He was one of the best center backs in the league, and I think he was looking at a potential call up to the selección. Just the way he was playing. Also, Hormiga playing out of his mind. Another player though, who seems like he's on the spectrum, and this confirms it because he is in love with anime, bro. And
I'm done.
you're on the spectrum if you like glaze the shit out of that.
That's crazy.
Have you seen the celebration?
Bro, they're gonna come for us. I haven't seen the celebrations. That hat trick was nasty though.
Bro, damn near almost
It was like he was
a
giving like
perfect hat
Chicharito.
trick.
No, like ugly.
Oh,
Like,
nah. Oh, actually, the header was Javier Hernandez.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like he kind of gives those vibes, like just
Yeah.
a finisher. Like doesn't matter how it goes.
Yeah.
The third goal, it was pretty good, but I almost feel like I find myself questioning if he meant to do it. Because the way he's sliding and he like manages to get a lot of height on the ball. And you know that's hard to do.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if he meant to do it, but if he did,
That's what I'm
credit to him.
saying,
I mean, a
though,
hat
like-
trick is a hat trick, and as a Mexican player, obviously, hopefully he continues to score goals, and that translates to him scoring goals for La Selección. But he's giving me Chicharito vibes.
Do you think he deserves a call up?
Oh, he definitely deserves a call up for sure.
Do you think he'll make it to the squad?
We'll see because unfortunately Aguirre be glazing Berterame.
Oh, that is true.
So I don't know, but I'd much rather see Hormiga there than Berterame.
That's my problem with this whole thing.
Berterame honestly might be a better player like right now, but Hormiga, with the form that he's in as far as like being a finisher, I think that's more valuable to potentially to Mexico than what Berterame could bring.
There's
right
always a snub for the World Cup calls,
that's
and
true.
I think he's gonna be the snub.
Maybe.
Unfortunately.
We'll see. I mean, he's still really young, so
Yeah.
he has like a bright future ahead of him. But
Yeah.
for this game, I'm actually going with Pachuca.
Okay.
They've only lost once in their last 6 games, and that was to Tigres, who's one of the hottest teams in the league. And with this Chivas team, they've been on a bit of a run. So I think it ends with Pachuca this week.
Okay.
But I think these teams are pretty evenly matched. Like I'd put them in the same tier.
Yeah, and they're definitely gonna. This is gonna be an exciting game, a good game to watch
Yeah.
because they're both gonna be fighting for that
Right.
top seed, well, that top 6 seed. But one thing to note: Pachuca hasn't beat Chivas in the last 6 games, so it'll be interesting.
We'll see. All right, that wraps up our Liga MX week 16 picks. You want to talk about that Palace collab with Nike?
Yes, sir. So Palace and Nike T90 collab. This is one of, if not the best Nike T90 collab that I have seen. That drop is insane. It's a fire collab, and I do like what these brands have been doing with Nike as far as this whole T90 collection.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Nike just gave like the canvas, but these brands have been, putting on like their own little swag. But what do you think about this collab?
I like it. I really like the pullovers. It's given like it's like definitely has like a retro feel to it, which is cool to like that like mid 2000s, early like 2010s vibe to it, which I like. I'm not the biggest fan of that like Volt color. I think that looks clean like if you're like playing, like as for like lifestyle, I don't think it looks the best, but overall I still really like it.
Yeah.
And I think it looks good with like the gray and the black.
Yeah.
It does look good with that. But to your point, I'm more so excited about the collaboration and what it means for like future collabs.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of, we're starting to see like the game, anything that's going to help soccer grow in the US, I'm a fan of.
Yeah.
Because then we're starting to see it with like Spotify and Barca and you know those types of collabs. It's just going to lead to the game growing here and kind of almost, I don't want to say like Americanizing soccer, but I feel like there's good stuff that like US sports and US leagues, like the major leagues have, that I think if we were to start seeing in soccer would be dope to see.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing that I do like is that this kind of brings the best of both worlds. This brings skateboarding and soccer kind of together, to kind of be in a happy medium. And one thing, I feel like soccer and skateboarding kind of go hand in hand at times.
A little bit,
just because I don't know if you ever grew up with people who skated and then they played soccer and like they were extremely good at both. And it was just like, bro, how are you... those people were like they always kind of amaze me.
I feel like when we were kids, but then as we got older, it was always like either one or the other.
Yeah. Yeah, but I do like the collaboration. And then the whole thing Nike has been doing with like how I said with these brands, they've also been doing like these like futsal tournament events, like how we've seen out here in LA for like there was 2 already. One of the ones that I really like is the Paisa Boys collab that they did. That's probably my favorite one so far. But as far as Palace, this just kind of lets us know that maybe a Supreme type of collaboration is also like on the way. But
like more street apparel mixed with soccer is definitely gonna be sick, because we've seen just like even like the Barca with the Kobe logo. That's tough. Yeah, I still gotta un-DS that one. I'm saving it. I can't do it. I was gonna do it, but I was like, they just lost to Madrid. I can't.
That is true.
So I was like, damn.
One thing I also want to note though is that the T90 jerseys, like the third kits for Chelsea and Atletico Madrid, are one of my favorite jerseys that have dropped so far this year.
Yeah. Are you a fan of them retroing those styles?
So I am and I'm not. The only reason why I'm not is because they're not doing...
It's a yes or no question. No, I'm just No, continue.
They're not doing anything new to it. Like, it's just like... It's almost like they just gave it to us just because, for one, Adidas is doing incredibly well with what they're doing. And because they kind of have like the stamp of the World Cup. And they're trying to kind of, go toe to toe. And there's always going to be like that competition with Adidas to try to do something different. And this T90, I don't know what to call it, like this T90...
Like resurgence?
Yeah. Or what would you call the T90 like...
Line?
Yeah, the T90 line. Like, I feel like fans have been calling for it for so long that they were just like, okay, here, have it. But you're going to have just like a canvas to it. And like these brands are just, putting in more of the effort to give it a new identity. Like this T90 line doesn't have an identity to it anymore. It's T90, but that's it. Like there's nothing new.
It's not
or
evolving.
Exciting. Yeah, exactly.
It's just basically retroing the styles that we've seen.
Which I mean,
I agree. I think honestly, like I think even though I do agree that it's the same main style, but I'm not sure if it's the sizing of it, because you know how generally speaking it's more slimmer now.
Yeah.
Or if it's like, I'm sure there's got to be like little, like maybe subtle tweaks. But even the newer T90s, it feels like it does have a little bit more modern feel to it. I'm not sure if that's just because of like the technology of like the materials and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think it looks like straight up like a jersey from the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
Which I agree, I'm not a fan of, because I think like if you're gonna retro it, I think you need to retro it exactly how it was before.
Yeah.
Or to your point, come up with a new style.
Yeah.
Don't kind of like tweak it to modernize it. I
Yeah.
think that takes away a little bit from the retroness.
Yeah, and it did, and that's why it doesn't really feel like it's retroed, because like
They're still sick though.
they are.
I agree with you that it's still cool to see.
Yeah, but it's just, if it wasn't for like these brands collaborating with Nike on this like T90 line, it wouldn't feel special. Because even when like those blank like jerseys came out, the colored ones, it was just kind of like,
I wasn't a fan of those.
Yeah, like it was just like, that's it. Like,
yeah,
they weren't. It didn't really signify anything. It was just like, okay, they just gave it to us because we had been asking for it for so long.
So you're saying they kind of just did it to be like, shut up, and not like, they didn't put a lot of like thought and effort into it?
Yeah, and to keep up with what like Adidas is doing, because I feel like Adidas is crushing it with what they got going on.
Yeah, because I mean, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the whole retroing started with Adidas and the Predators, the cleats. You know how that started,
even the Sambas and like the whole like.
Oh, that's true.
Like all that. I mean, I got some on right now.
But I think with the Predators, it was like what, like a year or two ago, where it was like, oh shoot, like I remember these, you know.
Yeah.
And then Nike started doing it with like the Vapors, you know.
Yeah, and then even that, like they're gonna bring out the Mercuro 3s from that 2006 World Cup.
Those are gonna be fire. Well, they did with the what was those like bronzish?
Oh, the T90 ones?
No, they were Vapors. They were like they came out, I want to say like last year. They had like the yellow, like I think it was kind of like yellowish inside.
Oh, I don't remember.
Or they were kind of like brown. Anyways,
I remember you sent it in the
these.
Yeah.
The Vapor ones, the Vapor ones. Yeah, those were tough.
Yeah, they were.
Those are tough. But I actually would want to see, because you know how with like basketball, like obviously Jordan's most notably, it's like retros.
Yeah.
Those are fire. But you have to make it look like the actual, like how they do. And even them, they kind of tweak the retro sometimes. Yeah. But those are never as well received.
Yeah.
Know? So I think with like the cleats, they need to do the same thing. It's like, if you're gonna retro it, make it look like the retro. You know, that's what we want.
Yeah.
That'd be sick to see like a Vapor 4 retro.
Ooh,
that would go crazy.
And then one thing too, I don't think it's reciprocated as well, because it's newer generation. Oh yeah.
Those would go crazy.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, I just feel like this newer generation doesn't have the same appreciation for this T90 line, or even like the old Mercuros as like.
Well, it's because it doesn't have the nostalgia factor to it for them.
Yeah.
So they don't even really know, like, for them, they're probably like, oh, that design is whack. And they don't even know that it's kind of like a retro.
Yeah. To them, more of like the nostalgia thing would be like the, it wasn't the Mercuros, it was the other ones. What was that line after, like in 2014?
Oh, the CTRs?
Not the CTRs, the other ones, the Magistas.
Oh, the
like
Magistas,
like even the Phantoms, even the Phantom,
the Hypervenoms.
Yeah, there you go, the Hypervenoms. Yeah, like those, like I feel like they resonate more with those rather than how we do with the Mercuros. And I feel like the Mercuro line has just died. Like there's nothing new or exciting to it.
Yeah, it's kind of just. It's always kind of been that same style that like sells well.
Yeah,
I will say I low-key bought some. Not the newest ones, but the line, the Vapors before this, and they're actually very comfortable though. So like, I think the technology is improving on it, but as far as like design and the styles, it has been pretty much with that line specifically. But
I gave mine away to my cousin. The ones that we bought when we started playing.
But all things considered, like I am happy to see that there's soccer lines that are collabing.
Yeah,
with
definitely.
You know, stuff outside of soccer that's sick to see, and they're putting like awesome product out there. So I think I think what it has to do is also the World Cup is coming up.
Yeah.
You know, so they're probably trying, you know, right now is a good time. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be excited to see if there's any more dope collabs, and we'll be touching base on those. And we're going to start doing a little bit more of these kind of like pop culture, soccer, throwback, or just combos, because that's one thing that I enjoy about soccer too, is like the apparel, the cleats.
The cleats, yep. And we're tapped, like we said, we do everything out here, man. Yeah. We tapped in with that as well.
It's crazy. It's like we've been like watching soccer now for 20 years.
Yeah.
So we're unk for sure in that regard. But let's go ahead and move on to a fun exercise. I'm excited to give my all-time 11 for Mexico. I'm excited to hear yours. So should we do how we did the America Cruz Azul one? Or do you want to like go like you give me your whole team and then I go, or do you want to go like position by position?
No. So let's do. Give me the formation, and then the names, and then I'll give you my formation and then my names, and then after that we'll tap into like why we picked.
Breakdown.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want, you could go. If you want, you could go first. So your Mexico all-time 11.
All right, I'm going with a 5-3-2. Goalie, you already know, my boy Ochoa. So, left center back, Carlos Salcido. Márquez is center back, and then Osorio is the right center back. Or you can switch Márquez and Osorio, the libero, just depending on, you know, the situation. Right wing back, I'm going with Paul Aguilar. Left wing back, Layun. My three in the midfield, I'm going with Guardado, Herrera, and of course, Cuauhtémoc. Could either do Guardado and Herrera as double, like, you know, defensive midfielders with Cuauhtémoc with a little bit more freedom as an attacking mid. Or if you want to just have one fixed as like a 5, and then I'd probably say that's Guardado. And then Herrera and Cuauhtémoc as like two interior midfielder center mids. And then my two up top, Carlitos Vela. And, of course, Hugo Sanchez. And then I'll let you share yours, and then we can go on.
Okay. So for my Mexico all-time 11, I'm going with the 3-5-2. My goalie, Corona. Rafa Márquez, Hector Moreno, and Carlos Salcido, defense. My midfield, Gerardo Torrado.
That's crazy.
Pavel Pardo, Andrés Guardado, Gio Dos Santos, and Carlos Vela. My forwards, Hugo Sanchez and Raúl Jiménez.
Ooh, I like that you put Jiménez in there. But who are your wingbacks? Guardado's on the left?
Yeah.
And then on the right?
I put... So that one's kind of hard for me because this kind of goes into what we were talking about off camera. Mexico does not have no right backs or left backs that are considerably, in my eyes, good. I was going to put Pau Aguilar or Layun. It was one or the other. But it was just kind of hard to kind of figure out who my wing backs were going to be. I felt like you could just kind of mess around with them. Yeah, I don't know. That one was hard. That one was definitely hard. I'm playing players out of position because... I feel like Mexico is just lacking in that sense.
Yeah. I did have trouble. The reason I went with the 5-3-2, and I mean you basically have the same formation, kind of 3-5-2.
3-5-2 is
like
basically
when you attack or when you defend. But with that formation in my lifetime, that's when Mexico's had their best World Cup performances in 2006 with La Volpe, who was kind of like, for Mexico, like kind of like pioneered that as for like, you know, coming up, salir jugando, and that, and then Piojo Herrera in 2014, who was La Volpe disciple.
Yeah.
So that's why I went with him. I like that you have Hector Moreno. I had him on my, like when I was drafting my team, I had him on my team if I was playing with a back 4.
Okay.
But then I went with Salcido, Márquez, and Osorio because they actually all played together in 06, and that was like a good defense. They had good chemistry together.
Yeah.
And they know that back 3, you know?
Yeah.
And then for my wingbacks, they were both a part of that 2014 team that I thought they had a great tournament.
Yeah, they did. They both did.
Yeah. And then for me, at his best, I think H is one of the best Mexican players that I've seen. At his peak. I think people kind of hate on him because he kind of did fall off and he wasn't the same. But at his peak, to me, he's, especially as a midfielder, and he had a great resume. I think out of all the players that I named, they all had a stint in Europe other than Paul Aguilar.
Yeah.
Yeah, for my players, yeah. Of course, for me, Cuauhtémoc had to be there. Like, he's... Well, you don't have Cuauhtémoc? You don't have Cuauhtémoc and you have Gerardo Torrado? Oh, my God.
Bro.
That's crazy,
And
bro.
it was hard, bro. It was hard. It was definitely hard, but more so because I didn't know who I was going to take out Gerardo Torrado for. Because it was him or Hector Herrera.
I'm surprised you have Pavel Pardo.
He was good, bro. He was...
No, as an America fan, I really like Pavel Pardo, and I thought about having him on my team, but I'm surprised you had him.
Nah, yeah.
I mean, honestly, what he did in Europe, you have to respect too.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of why I put him in there. But I think one thing that we're super underrated for is our center backs. There was a lot of center backs to pick from.
Mm-hmm. Claudio Suarez,
yeah. And then, but, Jesus Christ, when I was looking up, like, who to put, all these names, like, Sage, like, why would I put Sage in my all-time? Luis Reyes, or Luis El
Hernandez?
Matador. Like, no, El Matador, never would I put him in there.
I think he's has the record for most goals in a World Cup, in one World Cup edition. I think he had
For
4.
Mexico?
For Mexico, yeah. I think we need to talk about leaving Chicharito out.
We both left Chicharito.
Yeah. The problem for me with Chicharito is I don't want to sound like a hypocrite because for the America one, I said I can't take out Sage because he's the all-time top scorer. And Chicharito is the all-time top scorer. For now, Raul is coming for him. But the thing is, with Chicharito, a lot of his goals were friendlies. Like, he's not the all-time top scorer in official competitions. And he scored goals in World Cups, but the only one that I could think of that had some significance on the outcome was the 2018 game against South Korea. Other than that, like when he scored against Croatia, they won 3-1. When he scored against Argentina, they won 2-0.
When they beat France, I mean, that was the worst France team we'd probably ever seen in a World Cup.
Yeah, but it's like, I'm glad you have Raul because like his Chilena, without that goal, they wouldn't even made it to the World Cup. Yep. So I think as far as like iconic moments, he has that over Chicharito. Mm-hmm. And like we said, like he could still pass him up for all-time top scorer.
Yeah, and I think he will end up passing him up. And the reason why I didn't have Chicharito in there is because...
And he's a better all-around player for sure, Jimenez, than Chicharito.
Oh, yeah. Chicharito didn't really win anything with the selección.
That's
like
true.
He scored a lot of goals.
That's a good point.
But it's like he was
just gold cups.
The most he ever won was a gold cup. Yeah. He was never included in any of the Olympic teams.
Raúl Jiménez won a gold medal.
He did win a gold medal. He just didn't do enough.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that he didn't, like, yes, granted he made the most goals, but like 50 for a selección.
Yeah.
Like, that's mediocre for any top, squad, like a top international squad.
Yeah. And even, like, Carlos Vela, like, he's obviously a way better player than Chicharito.
Yeah.
Talent-wise,
Talent-wise,
sure.
yeah.
But even, like, playing devil's advocate here, like, I know Chicharito had a good career in Europe, but he was always a complimentary or even like a substitute player for like Manchester United. There might have been a season there where he was a starter, but like, yeah, he played for Madrid, but he was coming off the bench.
Yeah.
And with Vela, when he was in Spain, there was a season, I think if I'm not mistaken, it was either 2012-13 or 13-14, where Vela was like just behind Ronaldo and Messi for goals. Yep.
And he was top 3 in player of the season that year.
Yeah.
And the other 2 were Ronaldo and Messi.
Yeah. So I don't think Chicharito was ever at that level.
No.
Jimenez had a season, even in the Prem, where he scored more goals than Chicharito. Yep. So,
and he surpassed him in goals scored in the Premier League.
Yeah, so I think, honestly, the only people that might have an issue with Chicharito being left off of an all-time Mexico 11 would be Chivas fans.
Yeah. Well, hold on. You left out Gio Dos Santos on your squad.
I did.
Why?
Well,
who did you put over him?
Well, for starters, Cuauhtémoc.
I guess I'm not mad at it.
Because, keep in mind, Mexico's greatest accomplishment is arguably that Confederations Cup in 99.
That he was the reason as to why we won.
Yeah, because he was I think he was the silver ball winner at that tournament. You know who was the golden ball?
Cuauhtémoc?
Ronaldinho.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And then I think Cuauhtémoc might have actually been the top scorer. So I think he won the golden boot and the silver ball, which is like second best player. But I just think also too, like, he was like, as far as performances with the national team, I think Cuauhtémoc might have been
the number one.
Yeah.
Because even Hugo Sanchez, there was always kind of that knack on his career for the selección.
Right.
He didn't provide enough for Mexico, even though being respectively Mexico's best produced talent and the best talent that ever came out of Mexico for what he did with Real Madrid, but he didn't do anything with the selección.
Yeah. But you kind of have to put him there.
You have to put him there for what he means.
Because you have to put him there because he's by far the best player Mexico has produced.
Yeah.
So, like, you know what I mean? Just that's the argument for him. And he still produced for Mexico. It wasn't up to the standard that he had for Madrid. But real quick, Cuauhtémoc silver ball and silver boot at the 1999 Confederations Cup. And at the time, he was the only Mexican player that had scored in 3 different World Cups.
Okay. And then to give you my answer as to why I didn't put him in there, and this is going to be kind of dumb because I have Hugo Sanchez in there, I didn't see Cuauhtémoc really play. Like, even when he was like playing, like, I didn't, like, he just didn't captivate me. Like you didn't see him that much, or like when you saw him, you didn't really see what the hype was? Both. Even though, like, funny story, like, we're from the same barrio de Mexico.
Really?
Yeah.
And you better not pull up there.
And I pulled up over there
after this take,
and I got the pass. But when I was over there, you know what's funny? When I was over there,
you saw him?
Nah, I didn't see him, but I was playing, like, you know, like on the street with the homies over there, and I had done his cortinilla without, like, realizing that he did that move. So, like, people were like, "Hey."
When was this?
When I was like 7 years old.
Oh, okay.
So, like, I busted out that move, and
this was starting like a LeBron story at first.
Nah. I busted out that move, and people were like, "Oh, like, ¿lo hace la América? Like, ¿te gusta Cuauhtémoc?" And I was like, "No, why?" Like, es que es lo que él hace es like when you pick up the ball, like, with your 2 feet. But I think it's just, I think I just, you know, people from that barrio just have it in them to play like that.
I'm dead. ¿Se te salió?
Se me salió.
But yeah, I just think also too, like, I don't really like bringing up, like, leadership because I feel like that's kind of hard to quantify. But, like, you could say Cuauhtémoc was, like, Mexico's last, like, big, like, leader, legend, or icon.
Yeah, and he took his talents to the government.
Yeah.
But now he's playing pickleball in important meetings.
He just like me, for real. You have any honorable mentions?
I think we Claudio Suarez was one. Hector Herrera for me. Who was another one? I think those two kind of right off the bat.
Borghetti?
Borghetti was another one that I was going to replace Raúl Jiménez with. Because he gave us that super iconic goal in the 2002 World Cup.
Yeah.
That spinning header. And he was the reason why I loved headering. Pause. Like, his technique of, like, heading.
His head game was crazy?
Yeah.
I guess...
That was the only way I would score goals, though, too.
Jorge Fields?
Jorge Campos, he was another, notable person.
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention, yeah. But it was just like, again, it's like for his, career, we could have put him in there.
Oh, you know who else too? Luis Garcia.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, him too.
Because I had to go back and look that he had like a... Like, I didn't know this. I just knew him as a narrator. I didn't know he was like... He had played for Atletico Madrid. And he had like a really good career as a player.
Yeah, and apparently him and Hugo Sanchez have beef because when he was out there... you know how Hugo Sanchez also played for Atletico Madrid? I guess like Hugo Sanchez didn't reach out to like help him, like guide him.
Dang.
Like, which he was looking for that. And it's like...
That's crazy.
There's always that term like... El peor enemigo. So it was like he didn't want to help him like succeed over there.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, especially since I heard that Hugo Sanchez, like, they would, like, say racist shit to him and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, he, more than anyone, should have, like, empathized with him at that point. But Hugo Sanchez is an interesting character.
He is. He's still...
Have you seen the video of him where he's, like, talking about how supposedly, I forget what national team they were playing, but it was like, oh, Hugo, like, cuando miramos que no ibas a tirar los penales.
Estábamos temblando.
He was like, por lo menos te hubiera puesto a calentar, porque eso psicológicamente nos hubiera matado.
Yeah. He is a special character, though. And he still thinks he could lead a Mexican team to a championship.
But honestly, even though, like, we kind of bash him for it, it's like, that's probably why he's Mexico's best player, is because he has that sicko mentality of, like, that, like, just unwavering confidence, you know? So, I mean, if that's what it takes for him to be, like, great players, I definitely want to see more of that, for sure.
But I think that wraps up our video. Thank you guys for watching and tuning in. This was a fun video because it was a little bit different than what we're usually used to. And again, if you guys have any recommendations, anything you guys want to touch on, anything you guys want to discuss, let us know in the comments, message us, DM us. We'll definitely look at it. Again,
let us know, and let us know if we're tripping for leaving somebody out. If we actually completely forgot to mention anybody, there's probably like a name or two out there.
Yeah.
I didn't go over like the Aspe and like Benjamin Galindo because they were kind of really before our time.
Yeah.
And then let us know too who you guys think has the better team.
Yeah. We'll be dropping a TikTok for this one.
Yeah, and share your own 11s too. I always like seeing those too. Those
in the comments. Yeah, they'll definitely be fun.
As always, guys, thank you. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll be back next week with another soccer video.
And remember, don't quote us.
Unless we're right.
Peace.